And joining me right now is New York Congressman, Homeland Security Committee ranking member, John Katko. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much for being here. Are you in Yuma right now?
I'm in southern Arizona near the border in a town called Sierra Vista. And what I've learned is just absolutely stunning, Maria.
Tell us about it.
Well, in the Texas border area where I've been many times and reported to you about, people come up across the border, they just raise their hand and say, I'm here, let me in, and they come over in droves. Here, they're coming over, they're almost all adults, and they're coming over one or two at a time. The cartels are using a very different tactic here. The number of crossings in the Arizona sector are up. They're more than the last 3 years combined, and they're being overwhelmed. And for every person they catch here, they're documenting with their electronic surveillances at least an equal number getting away and getting into the interior of the country. So you think about how it's amazing. When I was standing here yesterday talking to a Border Patrol agent, 3 people came about 500 yards from us, ran across the border. Border Patrol agent and grabbed them. So it's really, truly the Wild West here.
This is exactly what I saw when I was in Del Rio, where a number of the Border Patrol agents told me that they had arrested 5,000 people in Yuma just in a week's time. Drugs are also coming over the border at rapid rates. Fentanyl seizures up 131% from last year. Congressman, cartels are even using social media to recruit teenagers as the getaway cars. We've reported this many times. What have you learned about the fentanyl coming across?
Well, Maria, this is going to stun you. In this sector, fentanyl seizures are up 2,000%.
Oh, my God.
They're trying that 2,000%. And what the cartels are doing over here, they're using a lot of the drone technology to carry the fentanyl across the border. And at times, the fentanyl was literally bursting in the air, and the fentanyl is being dispersed in the air. Now, imagine if that goes over a populated area, what that could do. So it's really tragic what's going on here. And what I've also learned is that the cartels are being enriched to such an extent that they're kind of recalibrating. They're focusing on hard drugs, heroin, methamphetamine, and fentanyl. They're getting much more sophisticated in the production of those drugs. They're getting better on smuggling it across. And they're really leading to more of a destabilization of Mexico because cartels are being enriched so much by the crossing fees, up to $1 billion a month, that they're charging the illegal aliens, that really on our southern border and below our southern border, we're going to have a country, Mexico, that is going to be far less stable than it was even a couple of years ago. And that's not good because we want neighbors like Canada. We don't want neighbors like what's going on in Mexico.
Has the administration reinstituted the Remain in Mexico plan? Because, Congressman, we know that a federal judge continues to tell the administration to reinstate it. But last week we heard that they sent back 2 people. There are 7,000 people that are coming across the border in Mexico, Texas every day. And they send 2 people back. So obviously they're not really following the law, and they're blowing off these rulings by federal judges.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. They have tried repeatedly to get rid of the Remain in Mexico policy. They're only doing it now because the courts are telling them to. And I had meetings in 4 different places in the last 2 days, didn't even hear the mention of the Remain in Mexico policy. And that is not even a factor here. What they've done is, with their border policies, is really destroying the security on the border. And, not only that, the number of Border Patrol agents in this sector, they're down about 25-30%. And that's impossible to control the border. It's that bad.
Of course. Congressman, I don't understand. We've got 2 million apprehensions year to date in the Texas-Mexico border. We've got now 5,000 arrests a week in Yuma. We've got enough fentanyl coming across to kill 200 million Americans. And the Biden administration refuses to call this a crisis, refuses to acknowledge it in any way. Why?
Well, I think that just fits their narrative. They want these people to come across. And you know what? Anybody who thinks that this isn't affecting them on the interior of the country is just not paying attention. The drugs that are killing our kids are coming across this border. The people that are being dispersed in our community without being vaccinated are coming from the border. You talk about close to 2 million people, and very few, if any, have been vaccinated. And by the way, the number of people you said could be killed by fentanyl that's come across is not 200 million. Every single American in this country could be killed 7 times over with the fentanyl that we've seized at the border. That's not the fentanyl that got through. So the fentanyl is pouring across this border, and it's being mixed not just with hard drugs now like heroin, it's even being mixed with marijuana. And we're seeing those kind of overdose deaths, and even in my district. I mean, there's one day we had 14 overdoses in one day in my home county in Syracuse, New York. And so every city is a border city, every county, every town. And people have to understand this is going to have a long-term detrimental effects on our country.
Well, that's very concerning about marijuana, given it is legal in certain states as well. Congressman, look, it's a great thing that you went all the way to the border. You're in Yuma. You are seeing all of this stuff up close and personal. And yet you still voted for the infrastructure package. Congressman, do you regret it, given the fact that there is not a dime in the infrastructure package for the border wall or for any infrastructure at the border?
No, listen, I made it clear since the beginning that there is not a dime for law enforcement and not a dime for the border in this package, or counterterrorism efforts for that matter in that package. But the infrastructure package does do a lot, because it's going to help our country be a better competitor with the likes of bad actors like China. It's going to help us with our water systems, help us with our roads. And in the long term, I think it's going to be one of those great investments. I think the infrastructure package, to me, is going to be like a good bottle of wine. It's going to age very well. I really think so.
Well, we'll see about that. Try getting Joe Biden to acknowledge that the origins of COVID-19 are in Wuhan. He won't bring it up to Xi Jinping. So about this competition with China, I don't know. There must be a massive conflict. They must have something on him that he won't bring this up.
Maria, hey, unless we start standing up to China and realizing the bad and malign actor that they are, is unbelievable to me. Think about this. They're going to be over there having the Olympics over there. And at the same time, 1 to 3 million Uyghurs, an ethnic group within China, are in concentration camps being killed, sterilized, and forced labor. What are we doing? We have to stand up to these guys.
That's exactly right. And by the way, 2 administrations told us that it's genocide. The Trump administration and the Biden administration also, Anthony Blinken, said it's genocide. And yet, no, a diplomatic boycott, what is that going to do? Congressman, thank you for your work and for going to Yuma. We appreciate you coming on this morning. Congressman John Katko joining us.